Hello and welcome to Old Gray Bricks Thursday night. Happy Halloween, everybody!
Halloween!
Woo!
Woo!
So tonight, it's us OGBs, and just in case you can't hear me, I'm going to take this off. But we've got Benny joining us this evening, and of course, as always, there's Matthew and Mare, and we might have some guests show up. There are invitations out. Martin is hanging out in our chat because he's currently cruising our backyards, picking up the Facebook Marketplace deals and not saving any for us. So,
yeah, we might have to have a word with him about that.
Yeah.
In my experience, the Facebook market deals around here have gotten less generous. I'll put it that way.
Well, yeah, basically ever since COVID Christmas, it's never gotten better. It's just been blah.
It's kind of been a lot of I know what I got kind of situations, and I can buy stuff cheaper off eBay a lot of times. It's crazy.
Yeah. Or the last great deals that I got were all like I had to drive half an hour outside the metro area to get it at some very more remote location where someone was like selling off the Opera House set and didn't realize that they could get another $100 for it or something. But Brick Snaps, it's your fault. But I've also reached the point personally where I don't need bulk brick. I have enough of that to sort. So I really don't need any more of that to sort. So if I'm going to get something, it needs to be like specific colors or specific parts that I need more of. And so I click on the Facebook Marketplace and I'm like, you don't need that. You don't need that. You don't need that. Just stop.
No. Once I'm done sorting, I don't want to sort anymore.
Right?
Sorting is now a chore, not something I do to acquire more bricks.
How's the air up there?
You know what? It's a little warm in my office with this helmet on. So now that I've done the bit, and just for everybody else at home, yes, there is the full logo. Got the whole thing going on here.
You have the whole outfit on? Man, you must be really hot.
Oh, yeah, it's warm in here. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off. But I will don to keep the whole space theme going on, though. So
that's when you're back in the
when I'm back in the module,
the space lab, and you could take the helmet off. But you need to take more of those iron tablets because the helmet always makes you look a little jaundiced.
It always makes me look jaundiced, doesn't it?
It's like, check his kidneys, please, doctor.
Yeah, we're gonna push the collar down a little bit there.
Oh man, it's getting informal. I don't know what NASA's gonna. I don't know if that's NASA code right there.
Yeah, we're relaxing now.
What happened to your face? You look like got attacked by a razor.
Well, in my theory has always been that yellow spacemen or space people or whatever you want to call them,
Spacelets.
They are clean shaven. So I clean shaven for my spaceman because I came out of the bathroom today. And my wife's like, "What happened?" Just like you guys, what happened? And I'm like, "Halloween. I'm doing spaceman, and spaceman doesn't have facial hair, so
I'm playing a role, and this role does not involve facial hair."
Nope. Although now if I wear my glasses and everything, now I fit my sig fig because my sig fig doesn't have facial hair, so now it's all appropriate.
When I was trying to make a sig fig for Thomas, he has a face that doesn't easily match up with most of the heads, and I ended up using the Scooby-Doo Shaggy face because it's kind of got this kind of goatee thing, and his hair's like kind of a little scraggly, and that ended up being the best match in my opinion. So, but some people, they just don't have a one-to-one Lego head relationship with the universe.
Nope, they do not.
So are you expecting trick-or-treaters at your neighborhood?
Oh, yeah. We get like 80 to 100 kids, depending on what's going on. Since it's Sunday, it should be pretty good because, the kids will already be wherever, they're, not having to deal with school and this and that. So
the one thing, so we gave out 90 baglets of candy the year before COVID. So very similar. The one thing I would say for it being a Sunday is I know a lot of churches now do trunk and treat where people drive and then they just walk around and people hand out. So I'm guessing that that's probably going to be popular. If Mr. Giddens appears, we can ask him if his church is doing that. But I'm guessing there'll be a lot of trunk and treat at churches, given that it's a Sunday and Sunday night and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah, which is always possible. I mean, but my neighborhood seems to be consistent with trick-or-treaters in general. We have a very family-orientated neighborhood. I mean, there's a grade school literally like within a mile of my house, so it's prime real estate for young families with small children. So hopefully that'll maintain. We'll see. But you're right, though. A lot of things have been switching to trunk or treats and stuff like that.
I went to a trunk or treat at a racetrack.
Oh yeah, how was?
And didn't you guys win for your trunk?
We won best trunk with my hastily put together Lego pumpkins, and Natalie made a little Lego cat stand up.
Aw,
That's awesome.
Dude, you just need some orange brick, and I made an orange one and a lime green one, and I threw a couple little LED flicker tea lights in there, put some more like LEDs up, and we had a shower curtain as our backdrop. It was a Halloween shower curtain, but it was super cheap. It was like, I think Brian got it for like $8 at Kohl's.
nice.
Yeah.
That's the way to go. What's up, for Zoom? Welcome to the show. Or
Hello.
our
How
show,
are
or
you
whatever
today?
you call it.
I just got back from dinner with an old friend, so I'm sorry I'm late.
Okay, Hannibal Lecter.
Not that old, not that tender. Thank you. So,
right.
dude, what is all the? Is that your pre-flight gear you got on? You got your
Oh,
space
yeah.
pack, the.
Ready to go. You know,
You missed the appearance by Benny. Benny came and went. So
Yeah.
Okay.
helmet was on and everything, but now you're getting a show with Cap. So not only will Matthew be Cap on here tonight, so will I. Because literally all I have to do is put that helmet on and boom, you get
Chris,
helmet.
you were calling me out last show for my lack of holiday hats. Well, the holiday hat has arrived.
The holiday hat has arrived.
I love it. I love it. You know what? I have to admit, one of the reasons I was as late is I was expecting a package to be here from Amazon with my inflatable astronaut suit. And I got a notification that it was delivered, and I accidentally had it delivered to work and not to here.
Oh,
And I'm so mad because I wanted to sit here and just inflate it every once in a while and everything. I had a whole bit going with it, and I'm so mad. So it was a total fail. Somehow one of us changed the default of our delivery, and so now stuff's going to work. So
well,
Anyway.
at least you didn't have it delivered to a previous address, which was in a different county, like I did.
I've done that. I did that when we moved. I did that. I totally did that.
I accidentally had something delivered to a previous address, and the next door neighbor was nice enough to bring it next door to me. So that was nice. And it was from Lego, of all places.
Yeah, I also had deliveries when Amazon was just getting started, and they were really bad around here. They actually left a package on my windshield under the windshield wiper instead of coming around to the door.
Nice.
Thanks. That's great. Anyway, how is everybody this evening? I'm sorry. I had a really good dinner, so I'm all like, nap.
Hey,
Dad,
so
nap.
we have a profession specific question. We were discussing the prospects of trick-or-treaters, and I was saying because Halloween falls on a Sunday, I'm guessing a lot of churches will be doing the trunk and treat. Are you doing a trunk and treat?
We are doing one. We're doing it on Saturday, and the
Okay.
weather is looking iffy, so I might end up with like tons and tons of candy. So we'll do a dry. If it's raining and it's windy, I can't put inflatables out if it's a certain wind speed and a lot of factors. But we are having one and all this kind of stuff in a petting zoo and a rock climbing wall. All that, fun stuff. We're doing it on Saturday so we can clean up and be ready for the next day. And
Okay.
which actually opens it up for me to go to a full day because I can leave church and everything. Hey, Brick Snap, do you have an invitation somewhere? Pop on in here, man.
He's driving.
Oh, is he driving? Well,
driving.
for what? Wreck the car. But anyway, so
I sent,
we're doing it. And so
I sent him a message. I told him he could stop by my house and be on the show, but he said he was already as far as Noonan. So
I got you. That's all right. But anyway, so I'll be able to do a full day on Sunday, since that's when it is, and then I can pop back and throw candy at the neighbors. Although Mel and Jake are working a wedding, she's catering a wedding on Halloween. Jake is working it. I may be at home alone, and I might just pin some candy to the door, wish everybody the best of luck, and come down here and not talk to people.
You know what? I would not do that. I have way too much fun handing out candy to kids. I mean, like the first 10 years that my wife and I have been married, wherever we lived, we got like no kids. It was horrible. It was like, come on,
right?
Where are the kids at? So when we moved into this neighborhood, and I mean, I told Victoria, I'm like, we're not gonna, you know what? I'm gonna buy like the bare minimum. And she's like, you know, we ran out. We had to turn the light off and close, you know, and I'm like, all right, not doing that next year. We'll have plenty of candy again. So, of course, now we're also the family that gives out full-size candy bars.
Oh, so, well, we bought a bag of candy and we've already run out. So
we bought 4 bags of mixed candy and all the mini Snickers are gone. I'm just going to say that.
We got, our bag had Milky Way caramel, which basically is a Milky Way bar with just caramel in there. Oh my gosh. They're gone. No, here they are. They're right here. I went up a cup size.
Attention shoppers, do not expect to get caramel at the Giddens house.
No, you're not.
Well, when the first decade I lived in Atlanta, we rented a basement of a house, and the only entrance light was on the back side of the house. So, you know, no one was ever gonna come to our door because they didn't even know that there was a door there. So once we moved into the burbs and we actually had a door that children could see, you know, we're like, let's do this. And in our house, oftentimes we travel for Christmas, so this is really a fun chance to decorate. So we go all out, and we have the 12-foot skeleton and the 6-foot spider, and the spider is new this year, and it has a motion sensor that makes creepy sounds. And so we turned it on last week, and every once in a while someone will go walking their dog. you'll see the thing, and they're like, we're sitting there like, we really need a camera on that so we can have like the top 10 reactions from the Halloween season.
Cool. Yeah, we well, now that I will have my inflatable astronaut suit, and I will enjoy doing that. I'll come bounding around the doors or whatever in my astronaut suit. That'll be a lot of fun. So actually, I'm probably going to see if I can find me some fairy lights or whatever, and like put them inside so I'm glowing and everything too. That'll be a lot of fun. So
see if you can get yellow ones so you look jaundiced.
Yeah.
Well, this is my fear. This is a one size fits all, and I got a feeling I'm gonna click that fan on and it's gonna go. So it's not gonna move very far because I'm gonna feel it pretty well.
Well, then look at it this way: you now have a spacesuit.
I do have a spacesuit, but I need that air to flow. I hope things don't block that air because I don't want to suffocate in the bubble. Be like Bubble Boy. Anyway, hey Hooper, check your Instagram message. I dropped you a link there if you want to jump on.
Red Hooper!
Red Hooper! And I've got to cut out about quarter till. I got an invite to open the door for the rest of us to have an invite.
Oh, you're going to Victorious Live.
Victorious is they're doing something on the Buzz Lightyear thing, and so I'm invited over there. So, but
fine. We don't care.
You better behave yourself. You better behave yourself over there. I don't want you acting out. Don't get any fights with people in the chat.
The preacher got kicked off a Boone show. Yeah, right. Oh, Doc Stampson in the house. How you doing, man? Let's see who else is here. Mr. Blue Sky, Axel Plate is here. Birmingham Den is here. Rick Snap's on the road and here. Mr. Blue Sky, Brett Hoopa is here. Andrew Sada is here. That's awesome. Thank you guys for joining. VW Bricks. We may throw him an invite as well. Let's throw B-Dub an invite. Let me do that real quick. I can do it.
Andrew Sada always makes me want to get Mexican. Andre Sada.
Who am I sending that to? I didn't get to watch Ben Wyndon's show. He had an interesting topic for his show, which I'm going to say, Boris, is, are you proud of your collection? I'm like, I don't know. Am I proud of this? I really don't know. But anyway, so how's everybody else doing? Minifig Collector is here. Good to have you here. How's everybody else this evening? I know y'all have already talked before me and talked about me. That's okay. So.
Well, no, actually, we were actually we were leaderless and floundering horribly. So you can literally probably start the show now at 8:15 and carry forward, and we'll be fine.
You guys you're amazing. I'm always like, I mean, hey, Ken Marlowe Briggs is here. We were driving home, and this is how funny it is. This is how old we are. It's like I left the restaurant and didn't visit the facilities. It's about a 45-minute drive where we were, and Mel had hurt her back today, so we are flying home, and I'm like, I gotta make it. I don't know if I gotta make it. I gotta pee. And she's like, oh, my back's hurting. I'm like, I can get to the can before you, honey. And and I peed in the yard. I'm like, hey, look at me. I am determined my dad. My dad, if you opened the car door, he'd pee on something. I mean, that's just my dad. He'd have to go. Well, we never stopped at
phrasing.
Huh?
Phrasing.
Once he gets started, sometimes he
Oh, Jeff Van Winden is here and left.
Hi, Jeff.
He walked out on us. He came in just to show us his backside.
I just didn't want you guys to see that big shiny light in the sky.
Hey, Jeff, before you come on my channel with jammies, you better check your flap, buddy. I'm just going to say right now. So,
huh?
He's just teasing you.
I'm wearing comfy pants. There's no zipper.
Okay. All right. Good.
How's it going, guys?
Had a lovely meal.
They're comfy pants.
Comfy pants. All right, let's do a quick spin, but we can get to our subject. And I don't know how many. We're talking a little bit about using Lego for your income, doing commissions. Our friend Jeff, who's not here, the other Jeff, mentioned and talked about, doing commissions and all that kind of stuff. And I want to talk about that. And I've done a couple, but not big ones and everything. But let's just go around the room and see what everybody is up to. Meredith, what's up? How are you?
Desperately trying to finish something before Brick Fair.
You got like 2 months, right?
You have 11 weeks.
Yeah, it's gonna be about 7 feet wide. So yeah, and it's slow progress, but here's the progress.
Oh goodness gracious!
Why don't you build something big?
Well, this is just like a third of the front. Not even. This is a quarter of the front.
It looks beautiful.
Thank you.
It is. It's amazing.
So that's about it. I'm just desperately every 10 minutes trying to come down here and pile something on here before my child goes, Mom!
Children.
Wait, so how long is it till Brick Fair? You said 2 months, but...
11 weeks.
11 weeks, yeah.
So that's almost 3 months. Of course, I'll be on the road for 2 of those, so really I only have 9 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know. My project that I have that's town that I need parts for and all this other kind of stuff, depending on what comes in the Bricklink or with the lug bulk order, means I'm going to finish this project or I'm going to dump this project or put it in a box for later. You know what I mean? So
I was going to say, you can't dump the project.
No, I'm going to dump it, but it may take a sidebar and everything. But if I could remember what parts I'm getting. I'm kidding.
No, you can look that up.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say, or the fact is that we're literally talking about 3 days.
No, I'm excited to get it, but it's only like Christmas because I'm like, oh wow, I got these. This is great. So, all right, Matt, what's up? What are you up to today?
So you called me out last time. Oh, I already mentioned that. I've been sorting for our bulk lug, and I got all my responsibilities done. So that's done, and I'm trying to wrap up the part census so that when the parts get here, put all that stuff away and get back to creative building. And I haven't done any creative building really since August, and I'm feeling sort of like I miss it. And so there's not much to report here other than I'm really good at counting to 20. So I have to use both my fingers and my toes, but that's how I've been doing the bulk lug. I'm just, getting out of my digits.
Good. I'm glad you're a professor. You speak well for the education system. Awesome. All right. Jeff Van Winden, how are you today? What's going on?
I'm good. I'm just building columns to fill in the holes in my castle here. So kind of working on that as we're talking. Did a little bit of progress on the castle as well. Well, that one tower that I'm building is missing, but I got another wall built. A bunch of stuff lying around, but that's beside the point. I'm literally this tower, the next tower, and like a couple of walls away from actually making a full circle of castle wall, and then I can start on the inside. So
that's amazing.
That's a goal. And I'm also partly like about halfway through getting the Lego room back to order. So I had a few more tiles that I had to clean today, and like the floor tiles, the foam tiles, I should say. So once that's hey Rick, once that's done, I'll be down probably in the next few days, back downstairs. So and I've rearranged my room too, so
good.
It'll look different.
Cool. All right, that's awesome, man. I swear you're still putting down more brick in like a day than I put down this year. I feel like, I swear.
11 weeks to go.
Or you going to
Stop reminding me. I'm working.
What'd you say, Chris?
You'll have 3 more of those exact same layouts built by then at the speed you're going. So
well, I'm debating. I've got a train layout built, and I'm debating building that or bringing that too, because you guys were saying that train didn't really have a lot going on at the show.
Well,
right?
You should join in to our lug for sure. We could have a Canada. This is Georgia Peach Lug North coming to visit. So
Sure.
That would be awesome. But are you going to bring a Greyhound to get all that down, or how are you?
Well, I have a new gray vehicle that I'll be pulling my trailer with. So, but yeah, other than that, I've got a 4x8 trailer, so
cool.
Hopefully it'll take it all.
When we get closer to time, remind us to kind of give you some tips on where to pull in and how to load and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm staying offsite at a B&B, so I don't have to worry about where to park it during the week. But
that's cool.
On unload day and loading day, that'll definitely be helpful.
Sweet. Are you going to make Maddie ride in the trailer, or is she going to ride with you in the front?
No, I'll let her ride in the front. It's a 6-seater, so.
Awesome. That's awesome. All right, I'm excited. I'm excited to see you again. You came to Brick South, right? When we did Brick South.
I came. Yeah, that was the one that was at the during the first Lego League, right?
Yeah, and you and David came down,
Greg
right?
Highland. Me and Greg Highland were there.
Was it you and Greg? Did David come?
No, it was just Greg Highland and me.
Okay, so it was you and I that drove to the Lego store together. That's right.
I think so.
It was a long time ago.
It was. I was like, but yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, they kicked us out. They didn't want us there the next year because we were too cool.
Yeah.
Oh, well. All right, Mr. Sandlin, how are you?
I am okay. I went to a school event for Small Paul this evening. That was mostly what?
They had it?
Yeah, the weather cleared up enough to do it, and it was mostly just like a lot of noise and chaos and kids running around wearing their costumes and stuff. So
welcome to my world. Thank you.
Yeah, so there was that, and but I got to hang out with Small Paul for a couple hours, so it was all right. Sorry. Yeah, it was noisy. It was. I don't know why they have a DJ at these things, because it was so loud, like we couldn't talk to each other. It was just noise. So yeah, it was a whole lot of 2 hours of sort of like trying to do sign language because you can't hear anybody talk. And Paul was progressively like, "This itches. I don't want to wear this hat. Can you carry my thing?" So good times.
Did you tell him back in my day when we had a mask, it was plastic and you couldn't breathe out of it because it had
three cut your mouth because of the sharp plastic would cut your mouth, and
the rubber band would snap and it would hurt, and
and your mom would be like, "You're gonna wear that because I paid for that."
Yeah, and the t-shirt box that they got it in, it was like clear. You know, it had the cellophane plastic. You could see the mask, and instead of the costume looking like the character, it was just a picture of the character on the jammies that you had bought, and so disgusting. So, all right.
Pink Eye Palooza, yeah.
Yeah. So was it one of those things where they kind of quote unquote tried to have a dance?
No, it was a parking lot thing at his school, and there were
it was a rumble.
There what?
It was a rumble in the parking lot. Awesome.
No, it was just kids running everywhere, and they had like a food truck and a Kona ice truck, and the DJ guys would try to get the kids to do little like relay races or tug of war or whatever, and they would sort of do a couple of them, but mostly kids running everywhere. So
yeah.
By the way, I don't know if Kona Ice makes money. It must make a lot of money. But if you just were to drive into the Sahara Desert and park a Kona Ice, 75 kids would show up out of nowhere and they get in line with mom trying to figure out if she's got a $5 to buy the color change cup out of it.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just, it's $4 for a cup of ice and some syrup on it. Yeah.
What? $4? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I may have to start driving a Kona van. I'll be honest with you. So, because it's air conditioned. It's air conditioned in there, and you're around the ice. It's cool all the time, right? So,
what you need to do is rob a Kona van.
No, that's when I become mall Santa. Then I'm going to. Then I'll have a Kona van on the side. Hey, there's my kid. My kid's in the chat. What's up, dude? Anyway, all right, Mr. Benny, what is going on? How are you today? What are you doing?
I am working. Well, you can't see. I'm not going to show you, but I got in I finally got in my large Bricklink order. Literally, I placed it on a Monday. They listed it as packed and shipped, or packed on Tuesday. They even generated a United States Postal Service tracking number on Tuesday. It didn't ship till Saturday and took all the way into today to come from Pennsylvania. It's crazy. I got orders from California before I got this order from Pennsylvania, which is strange.
Wow.
But so now I was able to sort all the parts out together. I've got 2 habitats I can build right now. As a matter of fact, I just finished the Dark Pearl Gray, which is the only time I've done an actual figure that's actually somebody. I actually did a Mandalorian in there.
Nice.
So my Dark Pearl Gray is done. And then I'm right now working on the...
Did you say Dark Earl Gray or Pearl Gray?
Metallicized gray, I think is what the Lego color is. And then Bricklink calls it Dark Pearl Gray.
Okay, I thought you said Earl Grey like the tea. I'm like, was that a Trek?
Oh, no. That's in 2023 when the colors that come out.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, I got you. Good deal.
And with that, I'm also working on Dark Orange, which I will probably finish while we're sitting here chatting. And I spent the last portion of this evening rummaging through the basement, looking through all my old sets or sets that I've taken apart, because there's a hair in lavender that I want to use from one of the sets that I took apart. I have no idea where it went. I found all the other sets that I remember taking apart around the same time when I was consolidating some stuff. No idea where this bag of parts went, and it's really kind of frustrating me because I really don't want to order the hair. I was just going to use the hair from the set because it came from that Rebel Alliance bomber from episode 8.
Oh yeah.
And that hair goes for like $8. So I don't want to order it. I just want to use the one I have. So I will probably spend most of tomorrow going down in the basement, rearranging crap just so that I can find said set.
I wanted to get that Rebel bomber on clearance, but I never saw it on clearance because I didn't see it very often in the store.
Yeah, it didn't. It didn't stick around. I mean, it didn't go to clearance, or when it did, it went like crazy and it was gone. And then they released like a variant because one of the actors was actually of darker skin descent, and so they changed the character in the set to resemble him instead of the generic rebel or resistance fighter. And so then the set became even more sought after, and we just went flying off the shelves. So kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. But it looked like an amazing parts pack though. It was
yeah, in hindsight, I had wished that I had maybe grabbed a couple more just because it was a great parts pack. Because even when I was taking it apart, I'm like, wow, there's some really freaking great pieces in here, and some things that only appear in just that set. So it would have been good to get. But then again, Bricklink, bricks and pieces. Go ahead and get your parts, however you want to do it. So
yeah, I should have got parts from that and everything. All right. Oh, I see it loaded up. You ready?
I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's do this.
All right.
Get it
Here we go. It is time for the Old Gray. No, you do it. You do the thing. You
gotta bring me to the space screen here.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you got to share it.
There we go. All right, here we
go.
go.
Great brick set of the week. Wait.
Quick.
The CMF set of the week.
CMF.
Woo! This being the month of October, we're doing CMF costume figures kind of thing, just whatever for CMF. This will be the last. Next week, we will return back to Old Gray Brick's regular set of the week. But this week's Old Gray Brick CMF of the week is Spaceman.
Reach.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? I just realized as we're about to go to this next screen and talk about him, I did not finish all the information correctly. So, yeah. Boo on me. So already, because he did not come out in Series 12, he came out in Series 1. Which was, I believe, 2008, I think, give or take. 9 pieces, 1 figure. Oh, he was $1.99. Such regrets. I wish I'd gotten more. I was in my dark ages still when this came out, so I didn't even get him. I had to get him later through I think I got him at Brick Fair of all places. However, today used price he'll still run $10, and that has a little bit to do with some of the pieces inside him came with him, because if you want to get him, you got to get him whole. In bag, he'll still run you $15, and part of the reason that is because this L3 bar in Translate Blue only came in this figure and also the pink Space Gal, which we already had on here one other week before that. His legs are also unique because even though his helmet and his torso appeared in the Build minifigure bar at some point in time, his legs did not. And I think he's also got he's got a specific head that's only available for him as well. So secondhand retail, he still goes for pretty good parts. So this week's Old Gray Brick CMF of the week is 8683 Spaceman from Series 1.
Woohoo! I kind of remember when those came out. I was a little like, why are they doing this with the collectible figures? But that was in the day. Was it the bump codes or the scan codes that you could do on that series?
Bump codes, I believe.
Yeah. And I wish I'd have gotten. I hate that they didn't do his visor couldn't come up. That was kind of a negative for us old space guys. But I really wish I would have army built him. But who knew that? Just a few years later, you'd be playing almost triple that cost for one figure, at least more than double.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people. Did get torsos and the helmets out of the Build a minifigure and did build somewhat pseudo armies with them, just not necessarily with those legs. And I mean, even now today, if you go to like the like Bricks and Minifigures or Land Brick Company or in those places, you'll still find that torso sitting in the regular bin because it's common. It's just loose. It's not too rare.
Right. It's a good fig. It was kind of that was the first really solid bone they threw that they remembered the classic space logo. There was that red jacket torso that they put in a lot of things. That was cool. But but then they when they put a space guy out, there they are. They put a space guy out. That was really cool. It was kind of the headliner on the box and everything else. The space guy was there, So that was really cool, and it's
Well,
been
even-
nice to see them put them in there.
Even in a lot of the stores, he was part of the art up along the tops, and even in, I mean, I think even in Toys R Us, he was on their signage and stuff like that.
Dude,
Wish I'd have
when
gotten
our
a hold of one
Toys-
of those when they closed.
Yeah, when our Toys R Us in Rome closed, I tried so hard to get some of that stuff, and they let some of it go, and it was all gone. Somebody had come in and cleared that out, and I was like, dang, because I wanted that guy. It would have been cool to have him floating around. So
Yeah.
All right, with a few minutes we have left, let's just talk a little bit about our topic of the night, and I'm going to be out of here in about 10, so I'll let y'all continue on afterwards. So some of us have been approached at times in our life. I have, and others have made a living off of commissions, somebody saying, hey, build this, design this, make one of these for me, or invent kind of things and everything. How many of you have done that? They're in their chat. Have you had a commission, or at least even been approached by somebody to do one first? I mean, I have and everything. Tell me, Matt, about the process of that when you were contacted.
So Eclipse Graphics had a layout they were supposed to do for a convention. It's about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago, and recently someone had done a mock of the radar dish and all in white that detected the edge of the black hole, and they had the image of that. And he's like, could you build that? And I said, I think so. I think I can back engineer it. You know, there's a couple different angles of it. And he's like, I want to have it sitting out at this convention. And he's like, I'll pay you, I'll reimburse you for parts, because I was like, I probably have most of the parts that are needed, and I'll pay you for your time. The only thing that was tricky about it is that I needed a whole bunch of the flexible piping, the flexible tubing in white. I didn't have any of that, so I had to order some, and it showed up like 48 hours before I needed to turn it into him. Like, I was like, it's all built. It won't stay together without the tubing to hold it together. So that was pretty. That was a little nerve wracking, going to the mail every day. I'm like, nope, not today. Okay, we're down to 2 days. Really need that tubing to show up. But yeah, so that was interesting. And then for Bricker builds, I did the Darth Vader with instructions, and that was, for me, nerve wracking because the glue really shows up on the black. You get any of the not glue, the acetone discolors the black, and it was stressful. I don't want to do that again.
Never again.
Yeah.
Well, we invited Adam. I know. I think he's busy and everything for Bricker Builds, because they are building a business off of custom models, which is amazing, and I hope they're doing well. But Brett already went ahead and broached the subject. I've done a commission. Should have asked for more. So when you have done a commission, or you have been asked to do a commission, and they give you a price, or you give them a price? How have they reacted?
The guy that we used to sort for, somebody reached out to him, and he was adamant he wanted a box for his wedding so people could drop cards and stuff into it. And I mean, I don't think it's gonna be super big, but bigger than a shoebox. And I think I said, yeah, sure. Like, and he wanted it like blue and white because that was the colors. And I think I said, what, I'll just do it for fun. Just give me like $200 and $250, because I figured, if it's about this big, that's a good amount of brick. And he's like, oh no, that's way too expensive. I'm like, that was me giving my time for free. And yeah, so that was the only one I've ever been approached about.
I've kind of had the opposite. I built a hotel model. Like I built the Royal York Hotel based off of a real hotel in Toronto, and I posted it on the internet, and they contacted me and asked if they could show it in their hotel, if they could display it in the hotel. And I got a free, I probably got like 4 or 5 nights out of it over a couple of like nights stay at the hotel for over a couple of different times that it was displayed. So, I mean, I still have the model and stuff, and if they ever want it back, they can totally have it back. But I mean, it's kind of a commission, but it wasn't really because it was maybe a reverse commission. I don't know. Does that exist?
Is it gift in kind or something?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, you got some compensation. I mean, the thing that I would say about my experience is that I guess I just value my time more. Like if someone were to hire me again, I would probably ask double what I did the last 2 times. I'm a slow builder, and so if I'm going to build something for somebody that takes me 2 weeks, that's 2 weeks I'm not doing stuff that I want to do. So I don't think I would do it again unless it were a lot more lucrative. But that's just me, and other people might feel differently.
Well, I gotta say with the Bricker Build stuff, sorry, the Darth Vader bust that you did is a hard build in general. It's a lot of plates as well. I will say, like when I did they paid me to build the Pikachu, was the first model I built for them, and I think I probably knocked that out in maybe like 2 days because it's a lot of basic brick. So for me, it was I was double dipping anyway because I was working and building at the same time. So for me, it was no big deal. I could sit on a conference call or troubleshooting or whatever and just keep working while I'm doing or whatever. It's a lot less stressful to build for them when they want something just built to have it built versus having it glued. Because I've built, I think I built them. I'm trying to think. I know I built a Molnier for them unglued, and I also did a speed build for them unglued, and those were a lot quicker and a lot less stressful. Granted, they don't pay you as much when you're doing it unglued versus glued, but still a good time. And I think for me, if somebody wanted me to pay me to build something, whatever he was going to charge or was he going to pay me, I was like, sure. Because for me, it was fun more so, and I was also making money at the same time. So it was like a win-win for me. But as far as like doing something commission-wise, I feel I haven't felt comfortable about doing anything like that. So I've never even offered up or even volunteered for that because it's all subjective. I mean, having done art for people in the past, gotten paid for it, that's part of the reason why I didn't go into art full time. And Mark, you can chime in here, is that you're doing other people's stuff and they're very particular about what they do and what they don't want versus, hey, I built something and then you want to, or I've made something and you want to pay me for it that I set the price for. That's different. But doing commissions, it's customer orientated and it's just something that I steer as far and wide away from as I can get.
So basically, Gil's comment right there is why I don't do commissions.
Yeah.
Because that's been my experience with something, is that when the few times that someone has asked me to build something for them, I'll tell them about how much the brick alone will cost, and they're like, nope.
Yeah.
And then they just bail out and they're not interested. So,
which just the cost of bricks is an interesting topic in itself, because I don't think a lot of people really understand the cost of the brick, because they think, oh, I'm going to buy a Lego set that is X number of pieces, yada, yada. And, we gauge it at 10 cents a brick for most sets. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what the bricks cost you if you tried to build that set, or a custom model that is, 3,000-4,000 pieces. The cost per piece goes up very quickly from 10 cents a piece to somewhere around 40 or 50 cents a piece, depending, and because you're figuring in shipping to get those parts, you're having to get multiple sellers, you're no guarantees on the availability of those parts. So that's going to jack the price up real quick, real fast.
yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, there was kind of a fad to make your own kit, and I made a kit called the little spaceship I had called Slam, and the little Slam fighter and everything, which was cool. But that was before any way to really get individual parts, because even Bricklink was probably Brick Bay at the time, which, by the way, got sued by eBay for using the word Bay, and I wondered are they going to sue Tampa Bay and Green Bay at the same time? But so it's a Bricklink or whatever. So to get a certain part, I had to go just buy individual little, polybag or small box sets. So those parts were costing me $2 or $3 a pop, and I didn't charge enough for those sets. I took a big hit because I also was giving some away, too, because it was fun. It was just for fun. And then, but the flip side of that, people then who are asking you, your friend, the friends and family discount to make a trophy or a gift for somebody, which I've done, and maybe they pay you, but it's like I'm pulling this out of my personal brick, and this is pretty darn pricey, and those are pretty nice pieces that I don't necessarily want to see sliding out of my home personally for your kid probably to break, and then it's not as meaningful as it was. But the funny thing is, the first one I did was a train.
Your strong suit.
You didn't want those carts anyway.
I sweated over that thing too because I was trying to be really, really detailed on it because this guy retired from CSX trains after like 40 years. So I built him a really cool engine with him and his grandsons on it and everything. And it came out okay, but I'm like, I'm building a freaking train. So anyway, it was fun though.
That's when you hit rock bottom.
That was it. I was out. I'm done.
I got to reform.
Keep it going. I got to run and check out Boone Builds just a little bit later. See y'all. Love you guys.
Later.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with the price of the bricks that people don't have any sense of it. I built a really large mosaic for my friend's 50th birthday of his dog. And many of the pieces were relatively common, but then I ended up using a bunch of 1x1 tiles and 1x2 tiles and things that were not common. And I didn't tell them, but the whole thing probably cost me like $400 to make in parts, maybe $450. I didn't sit there and price it out, but it was I did it because I care about this person as a friend, and I enjoyed building it, but it was an expensive gift. I'm not, it just was.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people don't realize that regardless of whether you're doing a commission or not, when you're building something of your own, the price goes up pretty quick. And as hobbyists, we don't really think about it because we're thinking, oh, I'm going to reuse this brick, or it's just part of what I would spend on this anyway. But like when I did the mosaic for our anniversary for Victoria and I, easily $300 just in parts, and maybe a little more. And I've got a lot of stuff. I got 3 sets on discount so I could get them at $100 for the parts I need. And granted, I want them getting extra parts on top of what I needed, but the grand scheme of things, it still cost me about $300 just to build that mosaic. And even when I start looking at how much, like every time I build a habitat for my project, and there's going to be 42 when I'm done, on average, they go for 20, just the pieces have been $20 to $30, not counting what I've invested for the minifigures. So that all adds up real quick, real fast. And I don't think and that's what people who are asking for commissions or custom stuff, they don't understand that you go out and buy a Lego set on clearance. Yeah, you're getting a set for pretty good price. This is not on clearance. This is looking for parts, paying a premium, specifics. It's going to cost you. And that it's just, they're oblivious to it.
It's like art supplies. Like if you were a painter and you just worked with the paints that you happen to have, it wouldn't cost you as much. But if you're commissioned and you've got, medium azure and you don't have that paint tube, you got to go out and buy that. And it's not necessarily everything off the shelf.
But we have another medium azure paint is a lot cheaper than medium azure brick for sure.
Right.
Right.
And I'm finding the Bricklink prices seem to be going up on a lot of parts too. Like I'm rarely finding anything under 10 cents these days on Bricklink. So
I can assure you that Azure is not cheap.
No, I know that.
Azure. The other thing I find interesting is that a lot of these custom sets, with Bricker, we talk about the Bricker Builds guys, and I think some of the parts that they've been using, even though they're more or less common parts, they're killing the market. If they put out a set or an set of instructions that asks for 150 2x6 bricks in yellow, well, there may have been a surplus of 2x6 bricks in yellow at one time, but not anymore. Because if people are buying those instructions to build that set, it's going to rack up the price on those parts pretty quick.
What also makes me wonder too is that because if you look at an average set now, like the palette in the set it's spread out over so many colors, as Dana we've seen with your ongoing mega project of trying to capture every single color. I think that probably means there's a lot less parts of one particular color, of one particular type hitting the market. So then you don't have the less volume, the more expense. So
absolutely.
Like what Jeff was saying is that you can't I remember you used to be able to get like a 2x2 and black something. See you, man.
Gotta go get the munchkin to bed.
Hey, did you see my message about Saturday?
Yes, and I replied.
Oh, I just haven't looked. Okay, good.
Night, everyone.
Good night.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, Matthew and I talked to VW way back when it was when I was doing something, I forget what it was, and I went looking to see what it cost for why I didn't have a sand green 1x1 round tile or plate. And I'm like, because it came in one set in 2003, and there was one in that set. Yeah. And I don't think bricks and pieces was really a thing at that point in time. No. And Jeff's like, oh yeah, I got some. He got like 5 or 6 of them. I'm like, oh.
But that's because I bought them on Bricklink at a high price. They were like 70 cents a pop, I think, when I bought them.
Right.
But
exactly.
I needed them, so
yeah. And now I was sourcing the parts for my Sand Blue habitat, and I went and looked at what Kaz had done, and where you would normally put the 1x1 plate, she had used 1x round tiles, and I was like, well, there surely has to be a 1x1 plate in Sand Blue. There is. But again, came in one set in like 2002, and they're like $8 a piece. I mean,
but even that creator set, right? The castle set. When I was on the fence, thinking, okay, do I get a second set, or do I just get a select parts from a second set to bump it out, right? And then so you go on to Bricklink, you part out the set, you run it up, and I remember when I've done that in the past. Roughly the set's around 50% of the cost if you were to buy the parts all individually. Now, no, it's like a $400 purchase if you were to buy them just as parts, right? So, yeah, I think that sort of shows that the Bricklink pricing structure, for whatever reason, for all those reasons, and if you're conspiracy minded, maybe since some particular company of some particular type has taken over and is, whatever. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but
no. If they were trying to juice the platform, the prices would be cheaper over in Brick Owl, which is a competitor. So I don't think it's the mothership trying to juice the price. I just think there's a demand. I mean, we are seeing a huge uptick in adult builders, and people are using Bricklink, and I don't think there's anything. I don't see any conspiracy there. I just see
you can take that logic and common sense elsewhere, Matt. That has no place here. None.
Seriously.
This is why I may have to move out of the United States, because I have too much. I'm not conspiratorial enough. So.
We'll take you.
Thank you.
There's always more room for conspiracy in Canada.
But you have to live up in our area, not like below Toronto, north of Toronto.
Oh, please.
Beauty, eh?
Yeah. Move like the Peter Patch, where like wearing pants is like a 3-day-a-year thing.
It happens to be a good day.
Good stuff.
But yeah, actually, that commission that I was talking about, luckily it wasn't the friend who was commissioning it, was his editor. So yeah, if it were for the friend, I would have done the thing for free. But yeah, his editor is like, oh, these things are great, they're awesome, and like I was giving him a steal. I think there was like, for all 3 of the mechs, I think it was like $100.
So
right?
Let me pose the question slightly differently. And I've thought about this. When I go back to Brick Fair, Alabama, I plan on stopping by the building that I made a replica of and showing it to them. And it occurred to me, like, what if they said, we want to buy that from you? What price would I give them a price? And if so, how high would it be? Because I'm very proud of that building. I think it's the best building I've done yet.
Yeah.
And I'm loath. I could rebuild it absolutely I could rebuild it. But I already built it once. I don't really want to do that a second time. I'd rather move on and try something else. Has anyone ever offered you money for something that you made?
Something I've drawn, yes, but
drawn,
made, no, yeah.
But Matthew, from that perspective, if that was to ever happen, I suggest you calculate in your head whatever it cost you to build it, or whatever you think it would cost to build it, and then just automatically double the price.
Yeah,
just hands down. When the Bricker Build guys and I were talking, and they were putting out the Pikachu, and they were basically breaking even when they sold the bricks for it. They were breaking even. And, so that's kind of like, that's a bad business model. So when they were getting ready to release the Italian Plumber, and they gave me the piece count, and I'm like, you know what? If that's what you think, and he gave me the price that he thought he was going to do. I'm like, no, you need to double that. And for the first run, he's like, he was so glad. He's like, I'm about to take your advice. We doubled it because we sold out of them like that, to the point that when they released when they did the next run, I think they tripled the price, and people were still grabbing them up like hotcakes. Because I told him, I said, go talk to Brian, Bricks O'Brien. Ask him, would you pay X for this? And he came back and says, I'd pay more. And because I said, go look at what is it? The guys who do all the military and the ships.
Brickmania.
Brickmania. Yeah.
That's what I was going to bring up. The Dan Siskin stuff.
Yeah.
He's been taking crap for years, right? Like, oh my God, it's overpriced. But you pull that thing apart, it's building in like 5 different directions. Like, there's a ton of parts in there, and he was using those Technic treads when they were far and few between. Like, those things were expensive. So.
Well, and the funny thing is because I remember the first time I went to Brick Fair, Alabama, and I saw the the Brickmania, and they had the police car from Blade Runner. I was like, oh, I would love to have that. And I walked over there thinking, all right, let me see what the price is. And I'm like, is that decimal place out of place? Decimal point out of place? No, it's not. It was like, I want to say it was like $800 or something crazy. And I may be wrong. It may not have been that much, but here I was expecting it to maybe be $80 at the highest. And I think it was easily triple or quadruple that for sure. And I was like, and people are buying this stuff? And come to find out, talking to people, that the inventory for those guys goes quick.
Yeah.
And it's like, boom, it's hand over fist for them. I'm like, they have trouble keeping stuff in stock because it goes so quickly. And I'm like, all right, there you go. Commissions, private stuff.
Speaking of hand over fist, Chris is going to be on Boone's show in just a few moments, and he dropped a link in the chat. And so I'm going to land the plane here, and everybody in the chat, go check out Boone's show and enjoy Chris being his wonderful self over there. And as Chris would say, be good to each other, treat your neighbors well, get your shots, wear a mask, and just be excellent to each other and all that good stuff. So have a good night. Have a good Halloween. Lego hands.
Lego hands.
Everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you on Messy Monday.